Hi there, Steve Arterburn here with New Life Ministries. I want to talk to you about abortion and how best to respond when someone comes to you and shares that they've had an abortion. Now, I've spent more than 5 minutes thinking about this because the most regretful thing in my life is to have paid for or pressured a young woman to have an abortion after she was pregnant by me. And I would do anything to try to help someone not make that decision to abort. But when somebody comes to you, obviously they really are seeking help, I believe, and you're a person that feels safe to them. And so I want you to be safe, and I want to help you be safe. Before you do anything, you really need to look at yourself, the knowledge that you have about abortion, and some of the feelings and thoughts. For instance, it is quite common for someone to say, well, of course, abortion's all right if you were raped or there's been incest. But I want you to see that from a different perspective. My wife and I raised a young woman for 2 years, had her in our home, and she felt like she was the lowest caliber of human being that existed, that even Christians did not think she had a right to exist. She said she was a rape baby. And over again, her being a product of rape, she's heard people say, well, of course, if someone is raped, that baby could be aborted. Essentially, Christians and everybody else saying, yeah, if a life is created through rape, they should be aborted. Well, essentially, you're telling them to be aggressive toward a baby, punish a baby with death sentence over the crimes of the person that raped. Now, anyone that's a rapist needs to be put away. If a person aborts the baby later, they relate to themselves as an aggressive person that caused a death. And it doesn't fix everything. Not having the baby doesn't fix everything, and there's so much regret afterward. So what am I telling you? I'm telling you really need to think these things through. And just like health of a mother, when the health of the mother is in jeopardy and a procedure would cause the baby to die, that's not abortion. That's an unintended effect of a procedure. It isn't even in the abortion category, but people that believe in abortion put it there because most people go, oh yeah, well of course. Now, in addition to what you know, you need to work on who you are, the connectivity or the connectability of who you are. Because you obviously have a degree of safety, or someone probably wouldn't be telling you, so you want to be safe, really safe, and say things that make the other person grateful that they came to you. But the real gratitude should be expressed from you. How grateful you are that they shared something with you so very private in the lives of so many people. And so you want to let them know how grateful you are, and you want everything that you say to be a safe thing, a helping thing, a growing thing. Now, help is available. And when you've expressed gratitude, you want them to know that there are different types of help. One of the great sources of help in knowledge, attitude, they do great work. That's Lila Rose's organization, Live Action. Another place you could go to is CareNet. They have centers all around that help people who've had an abortion, because you want to get over and beyond the abortion, not still live in the grief or shame or whatever it is. Another source of help is any church would want to help somebody. But there are Bible studies for women who've had an abortion that really do a great job of healing and getting to the biblical truth that can affect the broken heart over an abortion. I would just leave you with this, that hope has a resume, and hope is a reality if you're hurting over having been involved in an abortion. And just like me, my shame was so great. There are men here every abortion has a man involved, or more than one man. Often there's the boyfriend, or maybe there's the father, even a physician, sometimes a minister suggesting we need to terminate this pregnancy. But if you don't, there's great hope. There are people that want to raise the baby that's inside. There are people that want to help you when the baby isn't inside. You want them to know that you can be healed. God's not going to go after you and punish you. God is a God of mercy. Now, I know that because after having paid for an abortion, years later, I would adopt Madeline, who was the result of an unplanned pregnancy, 2 kids, 16 years old. And they brought her to full term. We adopted her, and she's just one of the greatest human beings you could ever meet. And I can't tell you how grateful I am. I love her. So there is hope for you, hope for a family that would raise a child if you give a child up for adoption. But if you're still reeling in guilt and shame, there's hope for healing from Jesus, because He died on a cross for you and all that sin long before any kind of hurtful, sinful thing was ever committed. Hey, if you need help, if you don't know what to do, we have an 800 number, 1-800-NEW-LIFE. You could call there. God bless you. Please do not live in shame. Live in the mercy and grace that God has for you.